Thinking of financing a home that has solar, solar panels are very, very popular these days, especially if you live in Arizona like I do. But no matter where you live, if you are considering buying a home with solar panels and you are planning to use a home loan to purchase that home, there are a few things you need to know. These are very, very important things, so be sure to watch until the end. First, you will need to determine if the seller of the home has purchased the solar panels or if they are leased. If the solar panels are leased, then the first thing to know is that you're going to have to reach out to the company and you're going to have to be qualified to assume the lease, which means that that lease payment is going to be in addition to whatever the housing payment's going to be. And you're going to want to really kind of get a copy of that lease up front so you know how many years are left. You're going to see what is happening to the payment every month. So a lot of times in these solar leases, we see that year 1 is a certain payment, year 2 it increases, year 3 it increases, and that could happen over, let's say, a 20-year period. So you definitely want to know what the highest payment's going to be on that lease, as well as your obligations with regard to the lease itself. But it's important to know that sometimes we will be able to qualify somebody for a home loan, but the solar lease company may not be able to qualify you to assume the lease. So it's one of those things, if you're purchasing a house, the first thing you're going to want to do if it has solar and you know it's leased is to make sure that you're reaching out to the solar lease company and getting the details. From a lending standpoint, know that that solar lease payment is going to be calculated into your debt to income ratio. And if you are thinking that you don't want the lease, there's other things that go into having that lease removed from the property. Is there damage to the roof, etc.? So talking to your real estate agent, if you're interested in a home that has solar, whether it's leased or financed, you're going to have some discussion with the solar company themselves. And one last note, the solar agreement, the lender is going to need to receive it, we're going to review it, and it's going to have to meet the lending guidelines as well. So a little bit extra hoop that goes on there when you're purchasing a home that has solar panels, but trust us, we work with a lot of different clients that have purchased homes that have solar panels and they love them. So don't feel like this is a barrier or an obstacle. It's just an additional thing that's going to have to be checked as we move through the process. If you take over payments on a financed solar situation, it's going to be the same as if the solar was leased. That payment is going to be calculated into your debt to income ratio that the lender is going to use for your home loan pre-qualification. Now keep in mind, if the lender initially did not account for a solar payment, then you'll want to circle back with your lender if you do find a house that has solar, just so they can calculate into the debt to income ratio. Can you still qualify with that solar payment included in the overall debt ratio? If you're tight on your debt to income ratio and your lender's communicated that to you, for example, they may say, so based on your scenario, you're pre-qualified for a purchase price of $300,000 with 3% down and an estimated monthly payment of X. If they did not account for solar in that X, then you're going to want to revisit that pre-qualification because, again, a solar payment, whether it's leased or financed, is going to be included in the debt to income ratio. So now you know all about financing a home with solar. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I would invite you to do so. My passion is truly sharing home loan education, and I would love it if you would become part of our community. If you got value out of today's video, please give it a like and share it with someone you know who might be interested in purchasing a house with solar. Until next time.